I believe he is in this... I think his place is called Herald's Rest, I think.
From Haven's fire come we, the able troop, to Skyhold now, a fortress strong and free. We rally with our hero born anew. Inquisitor, there's none as brave as he. Ah, la-di-da, and something, something else.
Okay. We could talk to her now?
Inquisitor, a title hard to rhyme. A challenge for another day, I think. Forgive me my distractions, Eminence. I'm overwhelmed by you and what you've done.
Well, you know.
My name is Maryden, a humble bard.
Well, how can you help? You're a bard?
Are you a bard like those of Orlais?
Oh, heavens no. I'm a minstrel first. My weapon is a cutting tongue, not blades. I hope my skills will help in some small way, if only I can give your deeds their due.
How can you help?
What do you bring to the Inquisition?
What a thing to
A
ask.
simple thing that you know well. The power of a muse to rally hearts and minds. Inquisitor, I want to spread the word of what you've done. A small but vital role. Perhaps I'll also make a coin or two.
Alright, well, nice talking to you, Maryden.
Carry on then.
Oh, I will do my best, Inquisitor.
Let's see what Krem has to say.
Inquisitor?
Tell me about the Chargers.
Can we talk about the Bull's charges?
Certainly. What can I tell you?
Tell me of an interesting job.
Have you had any other interesting jobs?
There was the time with the spiders. Big old beast had taken over some Navaran lady's winter estate, with a full season to lay eggs. Hanging from the chandelier, scuttling over the tapestries, webbing up the bath. Don't really have a story about it. It's just a lot of spiders.
Okay.
We'll talk later.
Surely you have more to say than just that.
Your worship?
How can we use you?
Can you think of any other tasks suitable for the charges?
Nothing jumps out at me. If I come up with any ideas, I'll let you know.
Well, why don't you tell me about yourself?
I wanted to talk about you, if that's all right.
You know, I'm from Tevinter. Wasn't a slave, but even citizens have it rough if they're not mages. I was a soldier, but women joined the ranks under a different program. When they found out I was passing, it got ugly. I ran, met Bull near the border, and ended up here. Not a life I'd wish on everyone, but it'll do.
How did you end up leaving?
You said you left Tevinter when they discovered your secret.
Women are allowed to serve, but only in certain ranks and disciplines. I was up for promotion, but the healer I'd bribed to sign off on my physical had to tend to a sick magister. When the replacement healer saw what was or wasn't in my pants, he made threats. It was slavery or death, so I knocked him out and ran.
Passing is illegal?
It's against the law to pass as a man.
It's a crime to lie on an imperial application for service. Would have been a heavy fine or slavery. For 10 silvers, the healer said he'd tell the Tribune I was sick in the head. Some pity for the mad little girl. That was when I hit him. I'd served for a few years. I was good at hitting.
How'd you get away?
I'm surprised you escaped from the Tevinter Imperium so easily.
It's not like I lived in Minrathas. I was in Trevis, not far from the Navaran border. It helped that I was being chased as a deserter, not a runaway slave. Slave hunters only get paid for what they catch. They're efficient bastards.
Why do you pass?
Why did you decide to live as a man?
I didn't decide anything. I've been like this my whole life. My parents wanted me to marry up. They tried to find me a nice merchant's son. Every day, put on a dress, look into my father's shaving mirror, and just hate myself.
Would you change with magic?
If you had the chance to use magic, would you change all the way?
What? No. I don't want any magic like that within 10 yards of my body. When I was younger, I don't know. Everyone has silly dreams. In Tevinter, dreams like that get you killed. Bull helped me make a good life. Nice armor and a well-placed sock, and I'm happy.
What'd your family think?
How did your family react when you started?
My mother wanted to throw me out. She said if I didn't marry well, I was dooming the family to slavery. She was happy to take the money I set as a soldier, though. Not that it mattered in the end. My father. When I was little, he'd angle his mirror down so I could pretend to shave, just like him. He never said anything, but I think he knew.
What is Tevinter life like?
What's Tevinter like for a citizen? Someone who isn't a slave or a mage.
I'm of the Separati, citizens who aren't mages. Mages are in charge and everyone knows it. But a wealthy merchant can have an easy life. At the low end, people just try to stay out of slavery. My father was a tailor. I joined the army after the Imperial slaves drove him under.
How'd they do that?
How did slaves drive your family out of business?
My father made shirts, aprons, that kind of thing. Nothing fancy. One of the magisters had a pet project. To prevent the poor from dying of cold in the winter. Nice, right? You get Imperial slaves making simple peasant clothes and selling them for almost nothing. That magister's nice idea put out slave-made clothes at prices my father couldn't match.
Slave labor.
It's difficult to compete with someone who doesn't get paid.
That's Tevinter. My father sold himself into slavery. He's one of the Servus Publicus, the Imperium-owned slaves now.
Damn.
We'll talk later.
What the? Oh, that's funny. Well, let's see what Iron Bull has for us over here. What do you got? Oh.
Come on, Krem. I'm working my ass off trying to get you to see that move.
You still got plenty of arse left, Chief. Your worship.
Glad you came by. I got a letter from my contacts in the Ben Hasrath. Already verified it with Red.
Should this be private?
Do you want to discuss this alone?
Not like I was hiding it from my boys. Besides, right now, I need to hit something.
You know they've got training dummies, Chief.
The training dummy might actually defend itself against the shield bash. Anyway, the Ben Hasrath letter.
What's in the letter?
What did the letter say?
The Ben Hasrath have been reading my reports. They don't like Corypheus or his Venatori. And they really don't like Red Lyrium. They're ready to work with us. With you, boss. The Qunari and the Inquisition, joining forces.
Oh, I'm interested.
That could be a powerful alliance.
My people have never made a full-blown alliance with a foreign power before. This would be a big step. They found a massive Red Lyrium shipping operation out on the coast.
They wanted us to hit it together. Talked about bringing in one of their dreadnoughts. Always wanted to see one of those big warships in action.
Did you see that? Go get some water. They're worried about tipping the smugglers, so no army. My chargers, you, maybe some backup.
What are they offering?
What does this alliance really get us?
They wouldn't use the word alliance if they didn't mean it. Naval power. More Ben Hasrath reports. Qunari soldiers pointed at the Venatori. It could do a lot of good.
Something wrong, dude?
You don't seem entirely happy about this.
No, I'm good. It's... I'm used to them being over there. It's been a while.
You don't want them to spread?
I thought Qunari wanted to extend their reach to the whole world.
Yeah. Just didn't think I'd see it. Look, the Qun answers a lot of questions. It's a good life for a lot of people. But it's a big change. And a lot of folks here wouldn't do so well under that kind of life. I guess it's not like we're converting. This is just us joining forces against Corypheus. On that front, I think we're good.
Well, let's do it.
I think the Inquisition could use some help from the Qunari.
Good. I'll pass on word to Cullen and Red. We can set up the meeting whenever you're ready.
Okay, demands of the Qun head for the Storm Coast with Iron Bull. We'll get to that. Let's see if Cassandra has anything new to say.
Planning troop movements now?
I'm trying to imagine what it will look like when we're done. All of this once belonged to the Tevinter Imperium. Andraste changed that, as did the Blights. As for what will come next, I cannot guess the Maker's plan.
Well, we make things better.
We make the world a better place.
Because everyone agrees on what better means. I know I want a world where people trust the Chantry and that trust is respected. I want to respect tradition, but not fear change. I want to right past wrongs, but not avenge them. And I have no idea if my wanting these things makes any of them right.
I think those are admirable goals.
Even if they're not right, they're certainly admirable.
Some would disagree. They would call it heresy.
That didn't sound like the ravings of a heretic, Cassandra.
Perhaps not. But it takes precious little effort to paint even an act of compassion as damaging. Tell me, what guides you? You make decisions that shake the world, yet always seem so assured. I wish I had your confidence.
Here, let's do this. You guide me. Let's get mushy.
If I'm guided by anything, it's you.
Oh, excellent. The blind leading the blind.
I don't think you're blind.
Clearly, you haven't been paying attention.
Haven't I?
When we first met, if someone told me I would be pleased to have you lead me, I would have throttled them. But I am. The Maker chose well.
Oh, thank you.
I appreciate that.
We still have a long road to travel, Inquisitor. Wherever it takes us, I am glad you're here.
Okay. Made a little bit of progress with her on the romance front. That's pretty cool. See if she has anything else to say to us. Hold still.
I trust all is well.
I'd like your
You have any
advice.
advice for me?
Tell that demon, what does it call itself? Cole. Tell it to leave.
Oh my.
He may not mean harm, but that does not mean he will not harm us. Spirits are not creatures to take at face value. Be cautious with him, Inquisitor.
Oh my, she does not like Cole. What else does she have to
Do
say?
you have any advice for me?
Treat Dorian with caution. It's possible he could be what he seems. A Tevinter mage wishing to do better than his countrymen. What if he is not? At best, his presence makes the Inquisition appear to have questionable allies.
Boy, she's very opinionated.
Do you have any advice for me?
Watch the treasury carefully, with that Sarah present.
You think she's here to rob us?
Possibly not, but I would hardly put it past her.
Boy, she doesn't like anybody.
Do you have any advice for me?
It's good that you recruited Enchanter Vivian into the Inquisition. She is ambitious, but has always shown sense in her dealings with the Chantry. My advice would be to watch her, but heed her when she speaks. That one wastes no words.
She's very opinionated. What else does she have?
Do you have any advice for me?
We must root out the Venatori. The Tevinter Imperium cannot be allowed to gain a foothold in the south.
I'll agree with you on that. What else she got?
Do you have any advice for me?
We must root out
Oh,
the
you already said that.
Venatori. The Tevinter Imperium cannot be allowed to gain a foothold in the south.
Do you have any advice for me?
We must guard Skyhold carefully. There is no telling when Corypheus will next attack.
Alright, tell me something I don't know.
Do you have any advice for me?
We must guard Skyhold carefully. There is no telling when Corypheus will next attack.
Do you have any advice for me?
You know what you need to do, Inquisitor.
Alright.
That's enough for now.
Another time, then.
Deal with the Angry Varguests operation available. Where'd that come from? Well, let us, you know what I want to do? How do I get out to my little, garden? No, this goes down to the prison cells. Ooh, is there anybody in the prison cells? Let's go look. I don't think I've sentenced anybody to prison. There's probably nobody down here. Well, that's not a cell, and neither is that. Nobody in there, nobody in there, nobody in there. Huh. Anything to say, guard?
No one to watch over, your worship. We either have many friends, or you've made short work of enemies.
Okay. Well, no one to watch over then. So what I wanted to do was run out and check on my little plants that I had planted in the garden. Let's see, where is that garden? Not here. Is this the garden? Let's fast travel over here. We'll check on our garden. Yeah, this is the garden. Where? There we go. Here's our plants over here. Let's check on them. Hey, they grew. Check them out. Cool. Elf roots. Pick our elf roots. Don't know why we're growing in Maryden vein, but we'll just leave it as is. Ooh, blood lotus. That's good. I wonder how often I could check on these. How often they will bear new fruit, as it were. But we really need the elf root. Let's see what Elan Vimal has to say.
I am at your service.
How are we stocked?
What is your evaluation of our supplies?
We are well supplied, and I foresee only better to come.
Will your college help us?
Are there others who could come to Skyhold?
They are helping now. I have contacted many of our finest, and their influence is not inconsequential. They are not, shall we say, prone to take the field, but we will be well supplied.
Where'd you study?
Where did you receive your training?
I studied with Adan after he left the service of the King of Ferelden. Well, when the king was no longer there to serve. Our College of Associates tends to meet informally. I've since been fortunate enough to serve various heads of state. They are all as good as another, truth be told. My skills and contacts are better suited to more imminent need.
So you're a city elf?
I take it you're a city elf, not Dalish.
It's not a useful identifier. I am an elf. I was raised away from the Dalish. No, I do not know their customs. Perhaps that wasn't immediately obvious. It's of little concern. I have skill enough to be evaluated by what I can do. My associates appreciate my work.
Okay, nice talking to you.
As you were.
Of course, Inquisitor.
Yeah, there's that weird thing that shows up on my map. And why did this just show up? I don't know. Wait a minute. There's that... I already looked at that. That's weird. Let's see what Mother Giselle has to say to us.
Inquisitor?
How are the people?
Can you tell me how our people are doing?
What would you like to know?
What about the people in Skyhold?
How are our forces at Skyhold doing?
Still in shock, for the most part. To see Haven destroyed so soon after the Conclave. You saved many, but still lives were lost. And traveling through the wilderness did not make treating injuries easier. For all that though, more people arrive every day. Some are refugees, but others want to help. Your Inquisition is growing. I pray you use it wisely.
How are people elsewhere?
Do you have information on people elsewhere?
The refugees in the hinterlands are desperate. Without help, starvation or war will claim many lives. Villagers in Crestwood are besieged by their own dead. They have sent word begging for assistance. People are vanishing in the hills of Emprise de Lyon. It may be demons or something worse, but they are terrified. More than that I cannot say. It is a chaotic time for all in Olay and Ferelden.
Alright.
Farewell.
Nice chatting with you.
Go with you.
So I don't know why this little, where is it? This is showing up as something to examine again, because I've already looked at that. See if I can remember how to get up there. There's some steps somewhere around here. Boy, it sure is dark over here. Jeez. Nope, this isn't it. I've already looked at that. Here they are. So we go up these steps here. And we jump over this edge. and then we can examine this. But we've already done this. Yeah. See, nothing showed up because we've already examined it. I don't know. Beats me. So what we're going to do now is we'll run back out here. And I want to go in again to the War Council room because while I was in there, or while I was down there talking to those people, these guys completed their operations. So let's just check on these guys real quick and make sure that they're busy. See, okay, somebody's still working on that one. Wow, still a lot of time left on
I've
that.
arranged an accord between the Marquis and the Dowager. Wonder of wonders. Perhaps they can be useful to us after all.
Secure a source of water for Outpost. Inquisitor, our soldiers in the western approach located a suitable freshwater source. They faced some resistance from a particularly aggressive wyvern, but were able to subdue the threat and secure the area. I'm told that Lieutenant Core in particular should be commended for his quick response. As you can imagine, their success has raised morale among our followers in the western approach Cullen. So this opened up the deal with Angry Varghest's operation, and we gained quite a bit of influence for that. That's kind of cool. And over here, investigate Hunterfell, a letter to Leliana with information on the Bard. I have heard only rumors, I fear, but it is said that her most intriguing aspect is her voice. It is of a unique quality different from most Orlesian bards who are human or elven. New operation unlocked, continue investigation, and we get some gold for that. There's one up here that I want Cullen to do. Yeah, this one here. Yeah, I want a fine jest, and now it is done. I suggest cutting ties before their presence is considered provocation. We want to do that. I don't want to
work.
Provoke those people to Venter. Judgment, recover sold artifact. Service, the Venatori who offered to help the Inquisition after his capture, has provided a tip on the whereabouts of some old magical artifacts he shipped out of the western approach. He claims he requires a small squadron of helpers and a decent amount of coin to recover them for the Inquisition. Leliana says, we cannot fully trust the man, and he knows it. I will give him his helpers and send an unseen spy along. Thank you very much, Leliana.
Inquisitor.
That is exactly what I wanted you to do. Well, everybody is busy in the war room, so that's good. Always got to make sure to keep them busy. It is break time for me now, so I'm going to take a break, give my voice a rest. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider leaving a like or a comment. Subscribe so you don't miss any videos. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next episode.